Magandang araw na naman kabayan. Panoorin natin paano sagutin ni President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. ang mga tanong tungkol sa South China Sea issues.
Good evening,
Salamat
Mr.
po.
President. After the U.S. and the Philippines finalized its bilateral defense guidelines, China said that the South China Sea should not be used as a hunting ground for forces outside of the region, and it opposed what it called as meddling in the issue to harm China's sovereignty and maritime rights. What can you say about this, sir?
Well, I do not think, as a Filipino and representing the Philippines, I don't feel alluded to. How can anyone say that we are not a party in interest in all of these issues? So I think that kind of statement was directed more towards the United States than it was for the Philippines. I think the Philippines' actions are in continuing to strengthen our capabilities, to continue to find and forge partnerships with the United States, and both in the governmental sector and also with the private corporations that we have spoken to, as an important part of what we have been trying to develop in the past almost 1 year. And that is I think, only right and proper, because we in the Philippines need to do this if we are going to go forward and find new opportunities for our people. At hindi naman masasabi na walang karapatan ang Pilipinas na gawin lahat yun. Kaya yung statement na yan, sa palagay ko hindi nakadirect sa Pilipinas.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, we have a question from Tina Maralit of Manila Times.
Hey, sir. Good afternoon po. Sir, prior to this trip, you said that you want the Mutual Defense Treaty to evolve. In your sit-down po with President Joe Biden, were there specific provisions of the MDT that you discussed with him? And if so po, what was his reaction?
Again, you have to, if
The specific provisions, prior to this trip, you said that you want the MDT to evolve po. Were you able to mention
we're not
specific?
yet there. What we did in this trip and what we have managed to formulate are the guidelines pa lang doon sa mga magiging provision at saka magiging detalye. But the premise continues to be the same. It's a strengthening of relationship, and the word "evolve" is one that I have been using, and that other people have seemed to have adopted, because that is exactly what it is that we need to do. We have to evolve, and why? To explain it, is that we need to evolve because the situation that we face is evolving, and when I speak about the evolving situation, I'm not only talking about security and defense. I'm talking about trade. I'm talking about economy. I'm talking about climate change. I'm talking about all the other aspects of our society, of our economy, and even our government that we have to adjust as a response to what changes we are facing. Iba na ang mundo ngayon. Hindi na kagaya kung ano yung mundo natin noong November ng 2019, hindi na natin makikita yon. At talaga namang ayaw natin bumalik doon. Tayo ay tumutungo sa kinabukasan natin. At yun, kailangan natin kilalanin kung ano ang kailangan gawin dito sa bagong sitwasyon. Kaya evolve ang aking ginagamit na salita.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We have a question from Rayo Kiyomiya of Shimbun.
Thank you, President. This is Ryo Kiyomiya from the Asahi Shimbun, Japanese newspaper. I have two questions. So first, regarding the tension in the Taiwan Strait, at your meeting with President Biden and your counterparts, what kind of discussion did you have to deter the contingency in Taiwan, and how to react to the Taiwan Strait crisis. And secondly, at the meeting with President Biden, joint statement mentions a trilateral cooperation, including Japan and Australia. So what kind of cooperation do you expect, and what kind of role do you expect Japan to play for the stability and peace in the region?
I expect a developing cooperation. Patuloy ang pagpatibay natin ng ating pagsasama at pagpapartner dito sa ating sa iba't ibang bansa, na hindi lamang yung mga nakapaligid sa Pilipinas, hindi lamang ang ating karating bansa, kundi pati na ang mga bansa na dati hindi naman natin nakakausap dahil walang pangangailangan na makaroon tayo ng partnership. Kagaya ng pagsagot ko doon sa nakaraang tanong, yun talaga ay nagbago lahat. Kaya kailangan natin ayusin lahat ang ating mga arrangements. We have to fix our arrangements, our alliances, so that they conform to the needs of the day. And that's again, it comes back again to that process of evolution. Because the situation is new, then the solutions have to also be new. And that is why we are now formulating those partnerships between all the different countries, not just Australia, not just the United States, also South Korea, also Japan, all of the ASEAN member states. And I think we can continue to do that. And I know that these countries that I have mentioned are already of the same mind. Pareho ng pag-iisip tungkol sa mga pangangailangan na natin gawin at kung saan ang pinaka makakatulong sa Pilipinas na mga partnership. Sila rin ay ganyan din ang kanilang pag-iisip. Sila rin ay naghahanap na nga ng mga itong group na magsama-sama upang harapin ang bagong mundo na sabay-sabay. It seems that the message of unity that we were espousing during the campaign is beginning to extend to unity not only in the local situation in the Philippines but also in an international scale. Kaya yun ang naging talumpati ko nung ako'y nagsalita sa UN, na kailangan na natin magkaisa, kailangan na tayong magkaintindihan upang makapagtulungan tayo sa isa't isa. So I think it is not only the Philippines that thinks that way. It's not the only Australia that thinks that way. It's not only the U.S. that thinks that way. I think every country in the world is thinking in those terms. At least most of the countries that have not that have continued to keep open relationships with their partner governments around the world are also of the same mind, and that's why I'm confident